In the wake of the escalating conflict between the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, and Amhara Fano forces, the battleground has become a tumultuous landscape marked by intense fighting and strategic maneuvers. As we delve into the latest reports from various sources, the situation appears to be evolving rapidly, with significant developments in different areas of the Amhara region. One of the focal points of the conflict is Atay, nestled in northern Shua. The latest updates reveal that Fano forces have gained control of the town after a fierce and prolonged battle, resulting in heavy losses for the ENDF. Local eyewitnesses attest that only a handful of ENDF soldiers managed to survive the onslaught. The toll on the NDF includes numerous casualties, with reports indicating both fatalities and injuries. Furthermore, Fano forces claim to have seized weapons from the retreating NDF soldiers, underscoring the intensity and effectiveness of their offensive. Turning our attention to Addis Kadema in western Gojam, the conflict takes a sinister turn as Fano forces reportedly executed an ambush that resulted in the death of 10 Amhara militias and Amhara police officers. The gravity of the situation is underscored by the loss of several lives, amplifying the human cost of the ongoing clashes. In the Kabya-Kucha to Bure road segment in Gojam, Fano forces executed another ambush, this time targeting ENDF soldiers. Shockingly, the ambush resulted in the elimination of 42 NDF soldiers and the destruction of 2 military patrol vehicles. The strategic prowess displayed by Fano forces in disrupting military operations highlights the complexity and volatility of the conflict. Moving to the Gonda to Chilga Road in Gonda, Fano forces targeted a convoy, claiming the lives of 15 leaders associated with the Amhara Local Prosperity Party. This development not only showcases the military engagements, but also underscores the broader political ramifications of the conflict, with local political figures becoming casualties in the crossfire. The conflict's impact extends to Beleza to Ibanat in Gonda, where Fano forces executed a tactical ambush on 2 ENDF trucks using grenades, resulting in the destruction of the vehicles. This demonstrates Fano forces' adaptability and utilization of diverse tactics to assert dominance in the region. In the western Gojam town of Jiga, recent updates paint a grim picture as Fano forces engaged in a brief yet intense confrontation, resulting in the loss of 15 Amhara police officers. The aftermath of the clash saw Fano forces successfully capturing several small arms, further escalating the level of armament in the ongoing conflict. Venturing into Tissa Bay in Gojam, the conflict takes a significant turn as Fano forces manage to capture an entire ENDF company, estimated to consist of 500 soldiers. This strategic victory not only underscores the prowess of Fano forces, but also highlights the challenges faced by the ENDF in maintaining control over key military assets. In the northern Shua town of Areti, Fano forces accomplished a different kind of liberation, breaking free 140 Amhara civilians from imprisonment. This development sheds light on the impact of the conflict on the civilian population, as Fano forces take on the role of liberators in the eyes of those held captive. Moving to Dangela County in western Gojam, Fano forces executed a similar operation, liberating Amhara civilians from prison. What makes this particular rescue mission noteworthy is the revelation that among the liberated prisoners were top Tigray former ENDF commanders, showcasing the complex and interconnected nature of the conflict. The conflict narrative takes a dark turn in Ku Washa and Mahal Sayent in western Wello, where the Ethiopian government reportedly ordered a drone strike. Shockingly, This strike resulted in the tragic loss of numerous Amhara civilians, raising questions about the ethics and consequences of such military tactics in densely populated areas. In Biakoso, situated in Mehal Sayent, ENDF soldiers are accused of committing heinous acts as they allegedly murdered 5 Amhara farmers. This incident sheds light on the impact of the conflict on vulnerable populations, with civilians becoming unintended victims of the hostilities. The town of Kuch in Goyam becomes another grim chapter in the conflict, with reports indicating that ENDF soldiers have been involved in the murder of several Amhara civilians. The continued loss of innocent lives underscores the urgency for a comprehensive and peaceful resolution to the conflict as the human toll continues to mount. The echoes of conflict reverberate across various regions, each report adding a somber chapter to the ongoing strife between different factions. In Asi, situated in the Oromo region, reports detail a harrowing incident where the Oromo Liberation Front, OLF, allegedly murdered 6 Amhara civilians who were simply attending a church service. This tragic event underscores the vulnerability of civilians, even in sacred spaces, as the conflict spills over into the lives of unsuspecting individuals. Moving to Wembama County in western Gojam, the brutality of the conflict takes a deeply personal turn. Reports indicate that Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, soldiers were responsible for the murder of a 50-year-old man named Umar Hassan. Shockingly, this heinous act occurred inside a hospital where Umar was waiting for the birth of his daughter. The tragic circumstances surrounding his death highlight the indiscriminate nature of the violence, permeating even the spaces meant for healing and celebration. The same county, Wembama in western Gojam, becomes the backdrop for another distressing incident. ENDF soldiers are reported to have murdered an Amhara priest and 2 other men as they were leaving a church. The targeting of individuals in religious settings adds another layer of complexity to the conflict, raising questions about the sanctity of spaces traditionally considered places of refuge. In the Shambla district of Wembama County, the toll on civilians continues to mount, with reports indicating that ENDF soldiers murdered an Amhara civilian described as a farmer. The seemingly random acts of violence against civilians in various capacities underscore the urgent need for a comprehensive and humane resolution to the conflict. Turning our attention to the Wachal district in northern Shua, reports emerge of the OLF allegedly kidnapping several Amhara civilians who were en route to the Debre Libanos monastery. The targeting of individuals on their way to a religious site further emphasizes the complexity of the conflict, with cultural and religious elements becoming intertwined with the broader political and ethnic dynamics. As we navigate through these reports, it becomes increasingly clear that the human cost of the conflict is immeasurable. Innocent civilians, whether in places of worship, hospitals, or going about their daily lives, find themselves caught in the crossfire.